The unbreakable species. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the human ambassador walked through the massive doors. Commander Zarek of the Krell Empire watched with cold, calculating eyes. His scales rippled with disdain. Humans. The newest species to beg for membership. The weakest creatures he had ever seen. Ambassador Sarah Chen of Earth, the Council Chancellor announced. His voice echoed through the crystalline hall. Sarah stood at the center podium. Around her, representatives from 47 alien species stared down. Some had 6 arms. Others floated in containment fields. A few were made of pure energy. All of them looked at her like she was prey. Humans, Zarek hissed, rising from his seat. Your species has been evaluated. Your planet is beautiful. Your resources are acceptable. But your bodies? He laughed, a sound like grinding metal. Pathetic. The chamber erupted in agreement. Clicking. Buzzing. Roaring. Every species seemed to share his opinion. Sarah remained calm. She had expected this. You have no natural armor, continued Zarek. No claws. No venom. No telepathy. You cannot survive in extreme temperatures. You need constant water. You are physically inferior to every species in this chamber. He leaned forward. Why should we allow such weakness into our alliance? Sarah smiled. Not a friendly smile. A warrior's smile. You want to know what makes humans strong? She asked. Let me tell you a story. The chamber quieted. Stories were sacred in galactic culture. 3 months ago, one of your cargo ships crashed on our moon. The vessel of infinite prosperity, I believe it was called. It carried a crew of 12 Krell warriors. The best of your empire. Zarek's eyes narrowed. That incident is classified. Not anymore, Sarah replied. Your ship's distress signal reached Earth. We sent a rescue team. 1 small shuttle. 4 humans. No weapons. No armor. Just pressure suits and determination. She pulled up a holographic display. The Alien Council watched as images filled the air. A destroyed Krell ship. Twisted metal. Fires burning in the airless void. Your warriors were trapped in a section with failing life support. Temperature, -100 degrees. Oxygen, depleting rapidly. Your strongest soldiers were freezing to death. The chamber was absolutely silent now. Our rescue team had 30 minutes before everyone died. The ship's hull was compromised. Sharp metal everywhere. Radiation leaking from the core. Any wrong move would kill everyone. Sarah's voice grew stronger. Do you know what humans did? They didn't wait for reinforcements. They didn't debate. Lieutenant Marcus Cole cut through 3 layers of debris with nothing but a plasma torch in his bare hands. His suit tore. Vacuum exposure burned his skin. He kept cutting. The hologram showed a human, face twisted in pain, refusing to stop. Dr. Nina Patel crawled through passages too small for Krell bodies. She had to break 2 of her own ribs to fit through a gap. She reached your warriors and stabilized them with our medical supplies. Broken ribs. She kept working. Gasps rippled through the council. Engineer James Wu rewired your ship's power core while standing in radioactive coolant. It was melting his boots. Burning through his suit. He knew he was dying. He finished the job anyway. Zarek stood frozen. His entire posture had changed. Captain Ana Rodriguez coordinated everything while her oxygen tank leaked. She had 5 minutes of air left. She gave her backup tank to one of your wounded. She held her breath for 7 minutes while pulling survivors to safety. Sarah's eyes burned with intensity. All 12 Krell warriors survived. All 4 humans nearly died. Lieutenant Cole lost his left hand to frostbite. Dr. Patel's ribs will never fully heal. Engineer Wu is still recovering from radiation poisoning. Captain Rodriguez has permanent lung damage. She stepped forward. You say we have no armor. You're right. We bleed easily. You say we have no claws. True. We break easily. You say we are weak. She shook her head. You're wrong. The hologram changed. It showed the 4 humans in a hospital. Smiling. Already asking when they could return to duty. Humans don't survive because we're strong. We survive because we refuse to quit. We don't have thick skin, so we built spacesuits. We don't have claws, so we invented tools. We don't have venom, so we created medicine. Every weakness you see, we turned it into strength. Zarek's voice was barely a whisper. Those 4 humans, they are alive. Yes. And they volunteered for the mission knowing it might kill them. Because that's what humans do. We run into the fire. We face the impossible. We break ourselves to save others. Sarah looked around the chamber. You want to know our secret? Every human carries something you can't measure. We call it willpower. Determination. Stubbornness. When the universe says stop, we say not yet. When death reaches for us, we punch it in the face. She placed both hands on the podium. Earth doesn't need your protection. We don't need your permission. But if you allow us into this alliance, you'll gain something more valuable than weapons or armor. You'll gain a species that never, ever gives up. A species that will stand beside you when everyone else runs. A species that turns impossible into inevitable. The chamber erupted. Not in laughter this time. In something else. Respect. Wonder. Fear. Commander Zarek stepped down from his platform. He walked to Sarah and extended his clawed hand. Ambassador Chen, he said quietly. The Krell Empire withdraws its objection. Your species belongs here. Sarah shook his hand. The vote was unanimous. Humanity had earned its place among the stars. The human factor. 6 months after Earth joined the Galactic Council, everything changed. The war came without warning. The Devourers emerged from dark space like a nightmare made real. Massive bioships. Living weapons. A hive mind that consumed entire civilizations. They had destroyed 40 star systems before the Council even knew they existed. Now they were coming for the core worlds. Commander Zarek stood in the war room aboard the flagship Eternal Dominion. Around him, military leaders from every Council species argued and shouted. Panic filled the air like poison. We must retreat to the inner colonies, shrieked General Vix of the Mantis clans. Her mandibles clacked with fear. Regroup. Fortify. Wait for them to pass. Coward, roared Admiral Thorne, his rocky form crackling with anger. The Silicate Kingdoms do not run. We fight until our cores shatter. Then you fight alone, hissed Ambassador Reth. The Serpentine diplomat coiled tighter. My people will not sacrifice themselves for a lost cause. Zarek watched the chaos spiral. 20 different species. 20 different strategies. Zero agreement. They were the most advanced military force in the galaxy, and they were falling apart. The doors opened. Admiral Sarah Chen walked in, now wearing the uniform of Earth's United Defense Force. Behind her stood 3 other humans. Each wore the scars of their rescue mission like medals. Apologies for being late, Sarah said calmly. We were reviewing the Devourer combat data. The room fell silent. Humans had been Council members for only 6 months. They had no fleets. No battle stations. No super weapons. What could they possibly offer? Admiral Chen, Zarek said carefully. We welcome Earth's input, but this is a military crisis. Your species has no experience with extinction-level threats. Sarah interrupted. She smiled that warrior smile again. Commander, humans have faced extinction 17 times in our recorded history. Ice ages. Supervolcanoes. Plagues. Asteroid impacts. We're still here. She activated the central display. The Devourer fleet appeared. Hundreds of bioships. Each one the size of a small moon. You're arguing about retreat or last stands, Sarah continued. Both strategies lose. The Devourers adapt. They learn. Fight them head-on, they consume your tactics. Run away, they hunt you down. She zoomed in on one of the bioships. So we do neither. General Vix's antennae twitched. What else is there? We cheat, Sarah said simply. Lieutenant Marcus Cole stepped forward. His prosthetic hand gleamed under the lights. Humans didn't become apex predators by being the strongest. We became apex predators by being the smartest. And the craziest. He pulled up Earth's military history. Images flashed across the screen. Ancient battles. Medieval sieges. Modern warfare. The aliens leaned closer. Humans have one ability every species here lacks, Marcus explained. We think like prey and predator simultaneously. We know how to run and how to hunt. We understand fear and courage. We've spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of killing things bigger than us. Dr. Nina Patel took over. Despite her healing ribs, she stood straight and proud. The Devourers are biologically immortal. They regenerate. They adapt. They seem unstoppable. She smiled. But they have one fatal weakness. Which is? Admiral Thorne demanded. They're alive. The room erupted in confusion. Nina raised her hand for silence. Every living thing has limits. Needs. Vulnerabilities. The Devourers consume matter for energy. They need biomass. Minerals. Water. They're not supernatural. They're just very, very good at survival. She pulled up molecular scans. And humans are very, very good at killing things that want to survive. Engineer James Wu stepped forward, still moving slowly from radiation damage. We analyzed their bioships. They're impressive. Regenerative hulls. Organic weapons. Self-repairing systems. Beautiful design, really. He highlighted several sections. Also completely vulnerable to targeted biological warfare. The alien stared. You want to create a plague? Zarek asked slowly. Not a plague, Captain Ana Rodriguez corrected. Her voice was rough from lung damage, but her eyes were clear. A poison. Specifically designed. Completely devastating. We introduce it into their supply chain. They consume it. They die from the inside out. Impossible, General Vix declared. We've tried biological weapons. The Devourers adapt within hours. Their hive mind shares immunity across the entire fleet. Sarah nodded. True. Which is why we don't give them time to adapt. She pressed a button. The display changed. It showed Earth's solar system. Hundreds of small ships launching from Luna. Mars. The asteroid belt. For 6 months, while you debated politics, humans have been preparing for war. We've built 3,000 stealth drones. Each one carries a different biological payload. Each one programmed with independent AI. Each one ready to deliver death. Marcus grinned. The Devourers share information through their hive mind. That's their strength. But it's also their weakness. They can't help but share. One ship gets infected, they all know about it instantly. And they all panic, Nina added. We're not hitting them with one disease. We're hitting them with 3,000 simultaneous infections. Different vectors. Different symptoms. Different kill mechanisms. Their hive mind will overload trying to process it all. James brought up engineering schematics. While their biology goes haywire, we strike their infrastructure. The humans have identified 47 critical points in their fleet formation. Destroy those nodes, their coordination collapses. Anna's damaged voice carried across the room. Then we don't fight one massive fleet. We fight hundreds of confused, dying ships. Ships you can destroy with conventional weapons. The war room was absolutely silent. Zarek looked at the human plan. It was insane. Ruthless. Brilliant. Completely against every rule of honorable warfare the Council had ever written. It was perfectly human. This strategy, Zarek said slowly, relies on deception. Biological warfare. Targeting civilian vessels to spread infection. It violates 14 Council military protocols. Sarah met his eyes. Yes. It's dishonorable. Yes. It will work. Sarah's smile was cold as space. Yes. Admiral Thorne slammed his rocky fist on the table. The Silicate Kingdoms accept this plan. Honor means nothing to corpses. General Vix's mandibles clicked rapidly. The Mantis clans agree. We will support the human strategy. One by one, every species voted. Every objection faded. Survival mattered more than pride. Zarek extended his hand to Sarah. Admiral Chen, Earth will command this operation. The Council fleets are yours. Sarah shook his hand firmly. We won't let you down, Commander. I know, Zarek replied. Humans never do. The war room transformed. Arguments became coordination. Panic became purpose. 20 species united under one impossible, human plan. The Devourers were coming. Humanity was ready. And the galaxy was about to learn why humans were the most dangerous species in the universe. Not because they were strong. Because they refused to lose. The price of victory. The battle began at dawn on the galactic rim. 3,000 human drones launched simultaneously from hidden positions. Silent. Invisible. Deadly. Each one carried a payload designed to kill gods. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the Eternal Dominion, now the command ship for the entire Council fleet. Around her, alien officers worked in perfect synchronization. Humans had taught them something new. Coordination through chaos. Drones entering Devourer formation, Lieutenant Marcus Cole reported from Tactical. His prosthetic hand moved across holographic controls with inhuman precision. First contact in 30 seconds. The main screen showed the Devourer fleet. Hundreds of bioships, each pulsing with organic menace. They moved like a single organism. Beautiful. Terrifying. Unstoppable. Until now. All drones activate on my mark, Sarah commanded. Her voice was ice and steel. 3. 2. 1. Mark. Across the void, 3,000 weapons fired simultaneously. Not explosions. Not lasers. Something far more insidious. Microscopic payloads dispersed into space. Invisible clouds of engineered death. The Devourer bioships consumed them without hesitation. Why wouldn't they? They consumed everything. Matter was fuel. Fuel was power. This fuel was poison. Infection confirmed, Dr. Nina Patel announced from the medical station. Her screens showed real-time biological data streaming from spy satellites. Payload spreading through their organic systems. Estimate 12 minutes until critical mass. Commander Zarek watched from his position beside Sarah. 12 minutes. Will they adapt before then? They'll try, Sarah replied. But humans don't play fair. She was right. The devourer hive mind detected the infection within seconds. Warnings screamed across their neural network. Adaptation protocols engaged. Immunity responses activated. Then the second wave hit. Drone Group 2 releasing payload, Marcus reported. Different biological signature. Different attack vector. The devourers adapted again. Faster this time. Third wave. Fourth wave. Fifth wave. Each payload was unique. Each one attacked differently. Cellular breakdown. Neural corruption. Metabolic cascade failure. Genetic unraveling. The human scientists had spent 6 months designing nightmares, and now every nightmare was real. The devourer hive mind screamed. They're panicking, Nina said, watching the biological chaos unfold. Their shared consciousness is trying to process 3,000 simultaneous threats. They can't adapt fast enough. They're overloading. On the screen, the devourer fleet began to break formation. Ships veered wildly. Some crashed into each other. Others fired weapons at empty space, attacking infections they couldn't see. Critical nodes exposed, James Wu called from engineering. 47 targets confirmed. Fleet coordination collapsing. Sarah raised her hand. Every species in the bridge held their breath. All council ships, she commanded. Target critical nodes. Fire at will. The galaxy erupted in light. Every council warship unleashed everything they had. Plasma cannons. Kinetic missiles. Energy beams. Graviton torpedoes. A united front of 47 different species, all firing as one. The devourer bioships tried to regenerate. Tried to adapt. But they were dying from within. Their own biology was tearing them apart. External attacks became catastrophic. One by one, the massive bioships exploded. Each death released clouds of organic matter into space. Beautiful and horrible. Enemy casualties at 40%, Marcus reported. His voice was steady, but his human eyes showed something else. Grief. Humans hated killing, even when necessary. 60%. 80%. Commander Zarek watched in awe. They're retreating. The devourers are actually retreating. The remaining bioships turned and fled into dark space. Broken. Defeated. For the first time in recorded history, the unstoppable hive had been stopped. The bridge erupted in celebration. Alien voices cheering in 47 different languages. Victory. Survival. Hope. Sarah Chen did not celebrate. Captain Rodriguez, she said quietly. Casualty report. Anna's damaged voice responded through the calm, human drone crews, all survived. Council fleet losses, minimal. 17 ships damaged. 3 destroyed. Total casualties across all species, 412 confirmed dead. 412 lives. Sarah closed her eyes. And the devourers? Zarek asked. Anna hesitated. Estimated devourer casualties, 894,000 bioforms. Total biomass destroyed, incalculable. The celebration on the bridge faded. The aliens looked at the humans with new understanding. Humans had just committed genocide on an unprecedented scale. General Vix approached Sarah carefully. Admiral Chen, your strategy saved us all. Why do you look so sad? Sarah opened her eyes. They were wet. Because we just killed millions of living beings. Yes, they were trying to kill us. Yes, it was necessary. But they were still alive. Still aware. Still. She took a shaky breath. Still deserving of existence. Dr. Patel spoke softly from her station. Every human on this operation volunteered knowing what we'd have to do. We designed biological weapons. We created plagues. We became monsters to fight monsters. Her voice cracked. And we'll carry that weight forever. Lieutenant Cole stared at his prosthetic hand. My hand was a price I paid gladly. This? He gestured at the debris field on screen. This price is so much higher. Engineer Wu looked at the calculations scrolling across his screen. Numbers. Statistics. Lives reduced to data. We won the war. But wars change you. Humans know that better than anyone. The bridge was silent now. The aliens understood something profound. Humans were not celebrating because humans understood cost. They had saved the galaxy, and it had cost them something more precious than lives. It had cost them innocence. Peace of mind. The ability to sleep without nightmares. Commander Zarek placed a clawed hand on Sarah's shoulder. Admiral Chen. The Council owes humanity a debt we can never repay. Sarah shook her head. We don't want payment, Commander. We want peace. We want to build instead of destroy. We want. She looked at the stars beyond the viewport. We want to make sure we never have to do this again. Then help us, Zarek said firmly. Help us build a galaxy where strength protects instead of threatens. Where different species unite instead of divide. Where war becomes memory instead of reality. Sarah looked around the bridge. Human and alien. Standing together. She saw respect in their eyes. Understanding. Something close to family. That, she said, her warrior smile returning, is something humanity can do. The celebrations resumed, but quieter now. More meaningful. Every species understood what had been won and what had been lost. Over the next weeks, the Council rebuilt. Humans shared their technology. Their strategies. Their philosophy of turning weakness into strength. In return, aliens taught humans about their cultures. Their histories. Their hopes. The rescue team became heroes. Marcus Cole's prosthetic hand became a symbol of sacrifice. Nina Patel's medical advances saved thousands. James Wu's engineering innovations revolutionized ship design. Ana Rodriguez commanded the first joint human-alien exploratory fleet. And Sarah Chen stood before the Galactic Council one final time. 6 months ago, you questioned whether humans belonged here, she said. You saw our weakness. Our fragility. Our lack of natural advantages. She smiled. Now you know our secret. Humans are weak. And that weakness made us strong. She gestured to the united species around her. We learned to cooperate because we couldn't survive alone. We learned to innovate because we couldn't compete physically. We learned compassion because we knew suffering. We learned courage because we understood fear. Her voice echoed through the chamber. Every species here has gifts. Strength. Speed. Intelligence. Power. But humanity's gift is transformation. We take impossible situations and make them possible. We take desperate moments and find hope. We take certain defeat and create unexpected victory. She placed her hand over her heart. We are the species that refuses to quit. The species that turns tragedy into triumph. The species that will stand beside you in the darkest hour and say, not today. The Council rose as one. Every species. Every representative. Standing in respect. Humanity earned its place here 6 months ago, Sarah concluded. Today, we proved we deserve it. Not because we won a war. But because we understand what winning truly costs. The vote was unanimous. Humanity was no longer the newest member of the Galactic Council. They were family. And the galaxy would never be the same.